relationships are not the place that you should be learning languages. I don't know if it's just this part of the world in Asia or it happens in other parts of the world, but there's a tired old trope that comes up again and again, whether it's in Thailand, in Indonesia, in China. If you speak the local language, in Thai, it'll be, fan ben kon Thai lo? Is your girlfriend Thai? Or in Indonesia, istrinya, pacarnya orang Indonesia ya? Your girlfriend or your wife must be Indonesian. And there's just this general assumption that if you speak the local language, that your girlfriend or your wife or your partner, your husband, whoever it is, must be a native speaker of that language and you've learned it from them. Well, by association then, you've learned it from them. And that is utter crap. It's just the worst place to learn a language between two partners. And the reason being is that once you're living together with somebody, they're not your teacher. And it's going to get very tired very fast if you're always asking questions about the language. Now, it goes two ways. I've seen it right across this part. You might have one partner that wants the other person to learn their language. Now, that could happen two ways. Supposing here in Thailand or in Indonesia or in China, and you have the local person that wants their partner to learn, say, Thai or Chinese or Indonesian because they want to be able to speak to them and they want them to be able to speak to the family. Now, that's one thing. And the person also wants to learn the local language so that they can speak to the people. Problem is, as you're living your life day to day, you don't want to be getting into grammatical rules and telling vocab and all of this stuff. You just want to say, go and wash the dishes. We need more milk. We need more eggs. Go down and get it. How much change did you have when you bought this? Have you got enough that I can pay the delivery guy? Just little things like that. If every time that you have to do something like that, you have to say, and so how did you say that? And then, okay, so supposing that I didn't have change and I wanted to ask him, could I use my card or transfer? How would I say? It's just enough. We just have to live life. And so it gets very old very fast. You will break up probably within a couple of months if you keep asking these kinds of questions of your partner. Now, the other thing is when, supposing somebody from here, maybe they go and live in the US or in the UK and Australia, and so the person goes into a Western, say, country where they need to learn English or they need to learn German or whatever. And so it's how does the person learn the language then? And again, asking questions of the native speaker that, say, they married they got married with, or their boyfriend, girlfriend they went to live with or stay with. A lot of the time, that person doesn't know things about the language. Why is the language like that? If they're asking questions, why in English is L pronounced like this when you say this and this when you say that? Or why is the grammar like that? What about the past participle? The general average speaker, native speaker of a language has no idea about these things. And so asking them is going to cause frustration. Maybe somebody will try and sort of pitch an answer without really knowing whether it's right or not, or thinking maybe it's right but it's not, and it could lead them down the garden path and lead to more confusion speaking the language. But again, you're in a context then when learning the local language with your partner will fail and probably end up in fights, probably end up in frustration, and could end up in the two of you breaking up. There's another thing. You better be careful what you wish for. One friend here many years ago, he was an academic. He married a local Thai lady, and she was also an academic, but her English wasn't great. She was an academic in Thai circles, and so they got married and life went on. They were together for quite a while, and then they moved back to the UK and claimed citizenship. Now, when she was there, her English started to get really good and started to study, went back to university, got her PhD to the point that her English was spectacular. And when it was, she could then articulate all of these things in English that she's wanted to say for so long, because the guy's Thai wasn't that great. It was sort of like You could get in a taxi, go down and buy stuff, but it wasn't to the point you could articulate your points on philosophy or religion or politics. When she could finally articulate the way that she really felt about things and the things that she'd wanted to express for many years, these guys ended up in divorce because they could actually really exchange their feelings, their emotions, their personalities. So you better be careful what you wish for too. You're saying that you want your partner to be able to speak the language. Maybe ignorance is bliss sometimes. It depends what you're looking for in a relationship. But then that beggars the question, then how do you learn the language? And you just have to learn it outside. If you do all of your language learning outside, maybe you've got a teacher, or you learn how to pull the language out of your environment, how to self-correct when you're listening to your partner speak, and you know how to analyze then and pull it in and then start throwing things back, seeing is that working. It's this slow, gradual thing. Now, your partner can be used as a tool to learn language, but they shouldn't realize that they're being that tool. They're giving you vocab, you're hearing things that they say, and you try and use the language with them, but then you should have people on the side, not people on the side, but people on the side to help you learn the language. And you're saying, oh, now I heard this said the other day. Why did they use this structure and blah, blah, blah? And then you're finally going to be putting that together. Learn how to read, learn how to write, start joining in message threads on Facebook and learning in ways that you're not going to interrupt your general life with the person. That's the way that you're going to learn. It might mean going to school, but honestly, you don't need to go to a school to learn the language. You just need the skills within you and an environment around you, maybe a few mentors in the language that are native speakers that can help point you in the right direction. One technique that I have used in many languages is you get at least 2 people that are native speakers, and you get some languages and sentences that you could learn from them that are a bit above the level of where you know you are. And you learn that, and then you use it with the other person. And that other person's going to be surprised, thinking, wow, your progress is good. And so they're going to start to pitch their level of language that they use with you a little higher than usual, and you're going to keep going up like that. Now, that's happening on the outside. Then when you're using that back with your partner, they're going to think, this is fantastic. Actually, if you're really doing it well, they won't think anything, because you're just going to be able to have normal dialogues with your partner, and life will go on as normal. This comes back to this whole thing of, shock value for speaking the local language. You don't want your partner to be shocked every time you speak the language with them. They just want to be able to communicate and live life with you with minimal shock, minimal surprise effect. Everyday life without surprises is a good thing, just for normal life with your partner. And so don't think that just because you're in a relationship with somebody that's the golden ticket to learning the language. Should you learn the language? Yeah, totally. But don't expect your partner to be the one to teach you. And for those people that for some reason, maybe it's just urban myth, you must have a long-haired dictionary, or you must have girlfriends in every country that have taught you the language. Honestly, very few people are lucky enough to have a partner that's patient enough to teach them the language and go through and do that. If you do have a partner that you've learnt the language from and that's had that patience, you are a lucky person. Let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss this. What's your experience learning language if you're in a multilingual relationship or a bilingual relationship where your partner's mother tongue is different to yours? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed or come into the Discord server, we continue these kinds of discussions, all different languages, brain skills, music, learning in general, memory. Come into the Discord server. You can scan the QR code. Don't forget to like and subscribe in YouTube, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye.